and welcome to the OK Takes podcast. I am Matt, and as always, I'm joined by my fellow capo, Edward. As of 8:01 p.m. West Coast time, look, Friday night was ugly. We saw it all. But Saturday night, oh my God. Look, I don't know how you're feeling about this, but I am buying in at a dangerous rate.
Yeah, I'm all in. My confidence level after game one was as low as it could possibly be. My confidence level after game two, not as high as it could possibly be, but pretty damn high.
Okay. Yeah, I'm as high as it could possibly be. I'm telling you, I'm buying it's how I am as a fan. Like I'm going to buy it at a dangerous rate. There's not going to be the other voice in my head that's saying, "Oh, well, you have to factor in that Logan Webb curb stomped them for 8 innings and took a shit down their throat."
Yeah, I mean, Logan Webb was unbelievable in game one, but then game two was like, here we are. That was like our coming out party, game two, essentially.
Yeah, because the way I feel the difference of the Dodgers is on my drives, because I just can't help but think, like, besides music, obviously, there's not much else to think about. So following when I went out to drive after Saturday morning, wherever I had to go do, it just kills you. I hate that drive. Traffic is worse. But then today I went down to Huntington Beach, and on my way back home, I'm just thinking like, man, I'm like in my head, I'm starting to set up what the situation is like for when they clinch the World Series. Like, and it's the worst place to be in because that's not a guarantee. We still don't even know if they're going to win the NLDS.
I mean, that's just what being a fan is like, so I respect it.
Yeah. Because I'm like the way I'm kind of planning it down, like as I'm just like headed down the planning it out as I'm heading down to 605 is, ooh, do I want to go out to a restaurant or a bar to watch the clinching game? Do I want to be with friends? Do I want to travel out? What is the situation looking like? And then there's like this tiny voice size of an ant that's saying, chill out, just chill out. I hope you could just be that little voice in my head that's saying, don't buy in too much, just take it easy.
No, I'm not going to tell you to take it easy, but I'm just not where you are right now. I'm still very confident. I still love what I saw from Saturday night. So, I might not be right there with you, but I'm close.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm close by. I'm in the vicinity.
Mm-hmm. Well, because I wouldn't be buying in so much if game one didn't go the way it did. So let's start there. And we just have to address everything that went wrong that made everything that went right feel 10 times better.
Yeah, I mean, and everything went wrong. Like everything.
Well, I would say offensively, everything went wrong. I still like how our pitching staff did.
Yeah, pitching was not the worst part. But like from the jump of game one, I guess I'll literally start in the first inning. As soon as Logan Webb was getting that outside corner with the slider about a good foot off the plate and he was getting called to strike, I knew we were in for a slow offensive night. As soon as I saw some of those outside corner slider pitches Webb was getting called in his favor, I was like, oh no, here we go.
I don't know. It's kind of weird for me because we have the screenshot of it on the Twitter account of the call that I'm probably sure you're referencing with Will Smith, how it's a foot outside, and it was bad, but Logan's Webb was pretty consistent on the outside corner all night long. He loved putting his change up there, loved going down and away with the slider and setting up his sinker. So it was weird, but then at the same, like it sucked, but at the same time, if you're the Dodgers, you have to make adjustments.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. You do have to make adjustments, but it's hard when an umpire kind of takes control of the zone, and that sort of leads to Mookie and Justin Turner, for instance. There was a pitch that was a ball all the way, but because of the zone the ump established, he had to hack at it, and it ended up in like a ground ball to short. And so it was like the zone that the ump established was forcing our guys to swing at pitches that they would normally be taking for balls.
I still have to play devil's advocate because this is not the first time they've ever been put in a situation where the ump is giving the pitcher the outside corner. this is something that they found themselves in numerous times, even from from Little League and when they were a toddler playing like coach pitch till now. Like it's not the first time they've ever encountered something like this. So I feel like they would have been able to make adjustments, but they weren't. And the only time, but it was weird because I was looking at the exit velocity of all their hits, because I think they had 5 hits off Logan Webb, or excuse me, not the exit velocity, but the expected batting average. The expected batting average of all those hits was about 700. So like we saw the balls that were hung, like especially the sliders that were hung, like Will Smith slapped a double to begin an inning, but then he got stranded there. So it was this tough situation where you were praying for Logan Webb to miss, and the Dodgers weren't able to. It was like the classic like unstoppable force versus immovable object. Well,
Yeah,
the tie goes to the immovable object, and that was Logan Webb.
exactly. And it was a grinded out sort of game from Buehler. And so to see, I will get to that, but like to see him, grinding out these innings, allowed 2 runs in the first and then went a good 4 or 5 innings without giving up another one. Mm-hmm. And to see Logan Webb like carving, I was like, come on, can't we get this guy some runs?
Yeah. You gotta talk. There's so many. I mean, the whole game was built off ding dongs, because you had the Posey ding dong. And I have to say, for the guy that left the canoe to go try and get the ball in the Covey's Cove, I hope he got hypothermia. Like that's how mad I was in that situation from that home run.
Yeah.
I was wishing, yeah.
No, I would just say anything good Buster Posey does just ticks me off.
He's been doing it for so, and I hate when a nice guy does it.
I know.
Hate when it's a nice guy. I want to hate you. Like, because both you and I, at least I think, maybe I'll just speak for myself, but I kind of like Patrick Beverly, and I know a lot of people hate it, but if somebody's going to be an ass, if somebody's kind of going to be good and kind of scrappy and just be good at what they do, I'd rather have them be an asshole like Patrick Beverly and you want to punch them in the face. It's like, I would rather watch Patrick Beverly have 5 steals against the Lakers than a guy like Kyle Korver.
I mean, I hate Patrick Beverly, but I'm weird and I love Draymond Green. And Draymond Green is just like a taller Patrick Beverly.
Yeah.
But I think the reason I like Draymond Green is because he's helped contribute in a big way to multiple NBA championships.
Yeah.
Whereas Patrick Beverly has never done it.
I would just say, like, in general, I would rather hate you than like you.
Yeah.
For my, like, cause can you say anything bad about Buster Posey? Same thing with Freddie Freeman. Like, you can't say anything bad about Freddie Freeman. He literally is an angel on earth, but I wish he was the devil.
Yeah, I would love to hate Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, same thing with Posey. I just hate it. He's just a nice guy from the South.
It's annoying.
It is annoying. But that said, game 1, it felt like we were just trying to draw water out of a rock just to get anything on offense going. Now, fast forward a day, because just like summing up game 1, it just felt defeated. It's like, wait, we played 162 games, had an incredible, especially with all the momentum from the wild card win. We have and Chris Taylor's walk-off bomb. We have so much momentum heading in our favor, and we're not going to use any of it, none of it. And it just was painful. It just was hopeless, feeble. Any adjective you can imagine.
Yeah, it was one of the more dejecting playoff games to watch, kind of, since that horrible night against the Nationals in 2019. It's a similar feeling, similar but different. It was like we won 106. Did we win 106 games that year as well?
Yeah, if we tied it this year with that year.
So we won 106 games that year, and then to go out like that, where Kershaw comes in, gives up 2 home runs, and then Kelly grand slam. It was like, that was such a dejecting feeling. And then after 2020, I hadn't felt that way in a long time in a playoff game until Friday night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You just sunk into your couch. I don't think I got up from my couch once just to like take a piss. I'm a guy who likes to get up off my couch. I like to get up, give a big fist bump when things go in my favor. Yeah. And I just sunk.
Mm-hmm. It was dejecting.
Yeah. I just sunk in there like loose change.
chip crumbs falling through the cracks.
Yeah. All right. So we say that because now look at how we were Saturday night, because it was a completely different story, completely different. It was truly a tale of two different days.
It absolutely was. It absolutely was. I mean, to go from a goose egg to 9 runs.
A playoff goose.
To go from a playoff goose, game 1 on the road in probably the most hostile environment we could play in a playoff game, to come out the next game and put up 9 runs was like, wow, what a change in momentum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I want to start game 2 by just talking about Urías. Or actually, no, I'll switch it. I want to talk about the offense and what the offense putting up actual like runs, finally real runs. We didn't get goosed. Thankfully,
well, Urías is a part of the offense.
Exactly. But let's start there, because the offense doing what we expected them to do or pretty much all of the playoffs. Now that kind of frees up things for our pitching staff and frees up options and gives guys some rest, because that's where I kind of want to start. Is we'll get into all the offense, and shout out Urías for his little base hit, RBI base hit. But because offense is good, it's like, oh wait, we could leave Urías, we could take Urías out after pitching 5 innings and throwing 70 pitches, because look, now we could save him for a shit show perhaps, or not even a shit show, but we could have him in there for a close situation. We could use him out of the bullpen. It gives us options. That's what you want from during the playoffs. You want options. You never want to feel like you have nothing to pull from.
Exactly. Yeah. And now that Urías only went 5, we have the heat. They said he would be potentially available out of the bullpen in game 4. Like, if we're up 2-1 in the series and it's a close game, he can come in the middle innings and try to put it away, or vice versa. If it's tied or we're down in the series 1-2, he can come in and try to shut their offense down while we try to tie the series up. So to have that to fall back on, to have that cushion now of Julio Urías available in a possible game 4 situation was like the perfect outcome from last night.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, that's what I was just alluding to before. If we're in a dicey situation where we just don't feel comfortable going with Bickford, like Bazooka's been great, but you don't want to. Do you want to have the season on the line and you want the ball in Bazooka's hands? I'm not sure, but what we do know is that Urías could come in and kind of fuck around and eat up like 3 or 4 innings.
Yeah, I mean, and we saw it a ton last year, and he was effective. So that is absolutely going to be a possibility going forward.
He was awesome. He looked really, really good. That was another coronation for him on the season, and still don't have him at Cy Young debate for another time. But I mean, that's established himself as at least a top 5 pitcher in the NL, and he finally got to showcase that to the entire world.
Exactly. Yeah. And it was another talk about grinded out sort of starts from not just Dodger pitchers, but I guess, yeah. I mean, in this instance from Max Scherzer, he grinded out that game. Buehler, in the same sense, grinded it out, kept us in it, even though the offense didn't do anything. And Urías last night, he grinded out that game, and he let runners on, and there were scoring chances. Like there was an inning where he gave up a leadoff double, a play where Betts kind of misinterpreted the ball off the bat, and he pitched around it. No runs allowed in that inning. So he grinded out, and he proved exactly that he's a top 5 pitcher in the NL.
Mm-hmm. Because now we also have to look at game 4. And I guess we can kind of do a little bit of the game 4 preview right now and just say look, I'm pretty sure that it's going to look like Gonsolin's going to start, I think, but it's literally going to play out like game 6, I feel, of the World Series. Of where, so we're going to start somebody who we'd rather not start, who we'd rather have Kershaw in that position starting game 4. Well, Kershaw's not on the team, so now you got to adjust, but there are still options. It's not like we're helpless, because you could have Gonsolin go 2 or 3 innings, and then what if Urías just takes up innings 3 through 7, and then that leads to Treinen and Jansen.
Yeah, I mean, that would be incredible. I would, in an ideal world, I would like for more from Gonsolin, like 3 or 4 innings. Well, obviously, if he's getting lit up, if he's getting into trouble and giving up a couple of runs, they're not gonna mess around. They're going to put Julio in to eat up some innings.
Yeah, I guess he is kind of there. I took it back originally, but now that I'm kind of thinking about it, it's like, well, Urías could be there if things go awry for Gonsolin. It's kind of a shit show early on. It's first inning, he gets shellacked for 2 or 3 runs, and in the second inning, he gets shellacked once again, and now they're down 5-0 to start the game before they even had their second ups. Well, Urías could hopefully eat up some innings before you have to go to like Vesia and Bickford. Like it would be really awful to have to go to, and like, oh, David Price. He'll probably get some innings in there as well, I assume, just try and get some outs. I don't think we'll get trying to get more than 3. But the point is that you don't want to call upon your bullpen before your offense has had their second at bat.
Exactly. Yeah. And to have to have a cushion like a 20-win pitcher is a pretty nice cushion to have.
He's and talk about cushion. That guy is somebody I would want to make a beanbag out of.
Elaborate.
Trust me. I mean, you know what he looks like. I mean, that's a thick boy. That's a thick boy. I would love to sit on his belly and just use it as like a beanbag cushion.
He's like a teddy bear.
But I kind of want to sit on it. Like he's just kind of lumpy. I don't want to take a nap on it.
Just use it as a pillow.
Not even as a pillow. I want to put if you could expand his stomach and his sternum all the way out to 6 feet 3 inches, then I want to sleep on that. I want to use that as a bed. Like mattress firm.
Mattress. Would it be memory foam?
Yeah. Like, and honestly, there should be like a better sleep option. Better sleep. Just take Urías, stretch him out, and give me a separate pillow, and I will sleep on that, and I will be comfy.
You'd get the best sleep of your life.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe give me like the remote that makes it change and have different angles.
Change the temperature of the mattress.
Yeah.
Like a sleep number.
Yeah, like a nice cool 65, 60 degrees. Yeah, it's a little popsicle. He's just a little cushiony popsicle.
And a dominant pitcher.
El Culichi.
Yes.
But okay, don't have a mistaken. He'll fuck you up.
Oh, he will, dude. He will absolutely fuck you up. No fucking around with him.
No, definutely not. So now let's actually, and just quick little shout out to Mookie's throw. My God. I didn't know how I would introduce it. I just want to talk about it. What a dart. What an absolute dart.
And I mean, what's kind of going untalked about is the situation that we were witnessing Joe Kelly. That was not Joseph. That was not Jose. That was not Mariachi Joe. That was Joe Kelly. And Mookie Betts ending that inning at third. It would have been what? Runners on the corners with 2 outs and a 6-2 game. You never know what's going to happen. And Mookie's throw was absolutely on the money to end the inning.
It kind of makes me think, I think more outfielders should start to try to spin before their throw so they can get more momentum.
He does that a lot. If he ever spins before he throws, I know the runner's going to be out.
And I have no clue if that's anything to do with it, but he played a lot of basketball growing up, and basketball is one of his favorite hobbies. And that's a spin move going down the paint if I've ever seen one.
Exactly. It's the agility that builds the momentum.
Yeah, I think guys should just start spinning more for the throws. Yep. It's like when you're doing shot put. You don't see a shot put or crow hop before they toss it. They spin.
Exactly.
Dude, I think I just unlocked something. I really think that more guys should start spinning before they throw.
Maybe Mookie should go into the Olympics for shot put.
Yeah, those guys would shot put him.
You don't think he would thrive?
Mookie? that guy's like 170 and soaking wet boots and quarters in his pockets.
I promise you he throws harder than some of those guys, though.
Well, yeah, but that's not their job. It's to throw far. A heavy object far, not a semi.
They should change it to a baseball and then Mookie would win.
I would love to see. I would be very entertained to see. Yeah, that would be very entertaining. I wouldn't pay to see that, but I'd like to see it.
Yeah. The Olympics. Just make it happen.
Well, then you have to buy Peacock.
Good point.
We've already done our bullshit with the Olympics or the USA team. We don't need to talk about them more.
Yeah, let's focus on the Dodgers.
Yeah. All right. So then let's wrap up the show with the offense, because they're the reason like that. The offense putting up numbers in the first place is what gives us options down the road for the pitching staff. You just got to talk about Belly. Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, how awesome was that? That swing was like very 2019-esque. And the one thing that kept playing through my brain was in that inning, the two hitters that had been slumping the hardest and had looked, although Bellinger had a really good game, wild card game, but he was slumping, and Pollock in the playoffs we know has been bad, but Bellinger comes up with the bases loaded, delivers a double. Pollock comes up with runners on second and third, delivers a double. So it was nice. It was nice to see the two slumping hitters kind of break that game open and put us in the position we're in now.
I would say I was more impressed with Pollock than Belly, because Pollock has been historically bad in the playoffs. Because that's the thing where once he starts heating up like every year, or at least the past 2 years, because he has been good in the regular season. I think he had the third most home runs in the NL last season. And then this year, I think he got his batting average even above 300. But it's like when we're seeing these insane months he puts together, it's like, well, how does anybody hate AJ Pollock? How it has become so underrated as a Dodger? How do Dodger fans not appreciate him? Because he's hitting $160 in the playoffs.
Yeah. And I mean, there was that year, 2019 against the Nationals, he did not record a hit. In that whole 5-game series, he did not register a hit. Dude, and he started every game.
Yeah, and even in their World Series run, you can't name an AJ Pollock highlight. When have you ever seen an AJ Pollock popping up in like a World Series playoff run compilations besides him celebrating?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, he's there in the videos, but he's not actually doing anything between the lines in a game.
Yeah, he's been notoriously known for choking and slumping in October. So to see him get that hit on a pretty tough pitch to hit, nonetheless, it was low and away, and he dug it out and placed it in left field. And I was really, really impressed.
So hope he can keep that. I mean, it's just guys like that. That are gonna be the reason why this thing the wheels keep on turning. And then Will Smith has been awesome to start.
Yeah.
So that was great to see. Yeah, but it's just the top of the lineup hasn't been great. And I think that's, what impressed me the most from yesterday's game is that heading into that, so the 2 games we played already, the only RBI, like no RBI has come from a base hit. Like hitting a runner in. The only runner that's been hit in so far was Chris Taylor hitting in Cody Bellinger on his home run, but we haven't seen any rallies stringing a lot. Like we haven't seen them put any rallies together. And that's what we saw. That was just probably my biggest, or that I needed as reassurance as a fan is, can we rely on something other than home runs to put runs on the board? It's like, yeah, no, we could get guys slapping.
Yeah. Will Smith was the only home run.
And that's huge. 9 runs and it was a solo ding dong.
One solo home run, and we put together 9 runs.
Yes, that's awesome. That is how we won last year, and that's how we'll hopefully win again.
Yeah. And it was nice to see guys like Matt Beatty slapped one the other way. It's good to see that Corey Seager's bat is still alive. He drove in a run. Chris Taylor, I think, drove in another run too. So it was like, if these guys all start to piece it together, the sky's the limit.
Definitely. Because at least on Saturday's game, Trey Turner and Justin Turner went 0 for 8. Like that was awful. And then once again, like Trey Turner and Justin Turner combined to go 1 for 10 in yesterday's game.
Yeah. Trey Turner had a double. So the Turner boys need to step it up. Justin obviously had that home run in the wild card game that tied it up, but still, he is our postseason guy. He has been the guy in the postseason for the last 6 years. So yeah, we're going to need more from the Turners.
Yeah, definitely. All right. And then tomorrow we have Scherzer on the bump. And then we're going to be facing Alex Wood.
Old friend.
Old friend. And we've actually hit him pretty well this year.
Yeah.
His year is about above 4 against us.
Mhm.
So
And
that's
I forgot that
yeah.
Jake McGee was a Giant, another old friend.
Yeah. Mhm.
When he came in last night, I was like, whoa.
No, he's been great for them this year.
Yeah, he was good.
Mhm. So we'll just, I mean, classic wait and see moment because Scherzer goes crazy. Wait a minute, we're gonna clinch this thing at home.
I think maybe it's the optimist in me, but I think we're getting mean, angry Max Scherzer
I think so
tomorrow.
too.
I think
There's,
he's going to go 7 strong. I think he's going to shove. I just have a feeling.
I need it. I need it so badly. I just need it added to the story. Like the zeitgeist of the Dodgers has to be like revolve of their run this year of 2021 has to revolve around him and Trey Turner coming along. And I want what they did in the regular season to really start paying off in the postseason. And I want Scherzer to put together a Logan Webb like start. I want him to have something that Dodger fans could look back on and be like, yup, that's what I mean, because nothing he's done so far, or at least nothing, or from Scherzer's first start, you won't remember that. You won't remember the line from that. But Scherzer puts up 7 some odd innings, 1 or 2 runs or no runs, just like a dominant outing. We need that for history's sake.
Absolutely. You know, we need that. We need the moment of this is why Friedman pulled the trigger.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. You got I'm good for right now. Do you have anything else before we wrap up?
No, I'm good.
All right, cool. I mean, now it's time to fucking win. Now it's time to play.
It's time to
All
win a
right.
ball game, man. Come on. Let's go
Yeah.
up 2-1.
Yes. Yes. All right. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of OK Takes. If you would like to follow myself on Instagram and Twitter, you can find me at MattWeiner20. If you'd like to follow Edward on Instagram and Twitter, you can find them at Edward_Vento. But you have no care in the world for anything we have to say, then follow OK Takes on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at OK Takes Pod. That is OKAY Takes Pod. Takes 2 seconds and would help us tremendously. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and have a wonderful day.